Hi everyone, my name is Olivia, and I'll be talking about the soft drink epidemic. I first want to start off by just giving you a visual representation of 25 grams of added sugar. So I actually weighed each one of these out. This is 25 grams of sugar, which is the daily limit recommended by the American Heart Association for children. This is 73 grams of sugar, about 3 times the daily limit. This is found in grape soda. So with this amount of sugar found in soft drinks, it's no surprise that the CDC has shown that childhood obesity has nearly tripled since 1970, with approximately 1 in 5 children, school-aged children, suffering from obesity. Children under the age of 12 should not have access to soft drinks because of the short-term effects, the long-term effects, and how some of these effects are actually linked to some of the leading causes of death in the United States. Working as a nursing assistant, I have seen some of these complications related to overconsumption of sugar, particularly that of type 2 diabetes. So before I move on to the next slide, I want to warn you that these images are graphic. It's showing some of the side effects of type 2 diabetes, which include diabetic foot ulcers. And I have actually seen these at the hospital. Some of them are big enough you can fit your fingers inside of, okay? So they're pretty nasty looking. Yeah, cover your face if you don't like it. Yeah, it's gross, it's horrible. So seeing these issues in just healthcare, I don't want to see another child put on this pathway of unhealthy eating, especially with soft drinks and how popular they are. So I first want to just discuss some of the short-term effects of soft drink consumption. Some of the short-term effects include just the pathway through the body and also the effects it has on the brain. So Dr. Stanhope, a research nutritional biologist, gave some really good information on her YouTube channel about just the pathway. So after the first gulp of soda, within 15 minutes, your small intestines have already absorbed that sugar into your bloodstream. Your pancreas, to compensate for this spike in sugar, releases insulin. However, there isn't enough, that's too much sugar. You don't need it all at once. So your body sends that excess sugar to the liver where it's packaged and stored as fat. Now, although other foods have a high content of sugar, the problem with soda is it leaves you not feeling full, and there's no substance to slow digestion, causing an increase, a high spike in your blood sugar levels. Also, the effects it has on the brain, the Princeton review showed a study in rats that found the same neurotransmitter, dopamine, is actually released in response to sugar. That neurotransmitter, dopamine, is also released in response to cocaine and heroin, showing that sugar can be addictive, which is not good for developing brains and young bodies. I next want to talk about the long-term effects of soft drink consumption. So, the long-term effects of soft drink consumption can include diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. The link between diabetes and soft drink consumption is quite striking. A study done by Dr. Schultz found that about half of the women in his study over the course of 8 years developed type 2 diabetes. These women had between 1 and 2 drinks of soda every day. The next health condition I think that is most strongly linked to soft drink consumption is obesity. In a review published by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, they found this was a combination of articles, and they found a positive association between soft drink consumption and obesity. I know some people may argue and say that it's the parents' responsibility to control what their children eat and drink. However, with the reports by the World Health Organization, they're showing that there is a steady increase in childhood obesity, showing that this is not enough. We need to do something about it. Now, lastly, the most, I think, striking is the number one cause of death in the United States is cardiovascular disease. And the Harvard Medical School found that people who had about 2 or more soft drinks per day were 1/3 more likely to develop cardiovascular disease. So finally, if the effects of soft drinks are this detrimental to someone's health, then wouldn't this warrant an age restriction like that of smoking? The CDC reports that about 480,000 people die every year because of tobacco products, versus obesity-related diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular disease accounts for 731,000 deaths per year. Now, I can't say that they are directly linked to soft drink consumption, but there is a heavy correlation between obesity, as we heard previously in one of the studies. If we require an age restriction on tobacco products because of the harmful effects, then why don't we require an age restriction on soda to help at least combat this obesity epidemic? Childhood obesity has been on the rise, and it's time to take some extreme action to combat this extreme epidemic. Restricting soda from children under the age of 12 will only benefit their health and help steer parents away from giving their children soft drinks. So before you reach for a soft drink for a young family member, just think about the path you want to guide them on. And for me, I would choose not to outlive my younger family members because of the unhealthy habits that I allowed as children.